feel like as if you might have dodged a bullet there at the end?
32 points up at three-quarter time, so we did a lot right for most of the game. It's hard to say you dodged a bullet if you're 32 points up at three-quarter time.
The game's not decided at three-quarter time.
Yeah.
That last quarter was clearly one where Adelaide overran you, and perhaps if there was a score review, you'd be looking at a loss.
Is it?
Looks that way.
Oh, does it? We need to get some right in the last quarter.
So what happened in the last quarter that you couldn't?
Just didn't win the contest that we needed to. I think Papley was a big loss. 0-4 out of the centre, lost ground position. Did a lot right in the first 2.5 quarters too.
Just those 3 quarters, John, I mean, pretty dominant to come over and start the way you did, as you said, 44 points up late in the second.
Yeah.
Like there was a real thirst and a mindset to crack in tonight from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, what are they, 9-2 here this year or something? And, so it's hard to win here, and they've been really good here. And I thought, our first half was as good as we've played for a long time. And they kicked 2 goals just on half time, but then we evened it up in the third quarter, and I thought, we did a lot right for 3 quarters. Unfortunately, we lost ground position in the last quarter, and they got momentum through their half backs, and they obviously kicked inaccurately in a quarter of footy, so we know what that feels like.
So what's it like on the boundary for you when a team's making such a charge there? Is it pretty much up to your players to respond, or do you feel a bit helpless?
It's a bit hard to get out in the ground and do much, but you just kind of keep reminding players to do what they do and win the contest, and that's the most important thing. Once we lost ground position, we then sort of had to play the game from the back half, and we had to get some uncontested marks and get some more ground position to get further up the ground, and we're unable to do that. So that's what cost us in the last quarter.
Type of win. So I mean, the ramifications of that result are massive. I guess you need a bit of luck to get where you want to go this season.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Sort of. We sort of, we lost a quarter of footy. We weren't great in the quarter of footy, and we need to be better at that. Yeah.
The Ben Keys goal, non-goal, is going to be a big talking point. A couple of your guys were right there at the post. I think Ramps and Mills. Have you had any discussions with any of those guys? No, I haven't. We just talked about the last quarter in its entirety. We sort of just went through some of the things that we lost the contest, and playing the ball from the back half, and how we needed to get the ball in our front half, and how we needed to move the ball from our back half. We went through those things, and that's what we talked about, trying to get the ball. Why it sort of wasn't just the last goal. It was they had a few scoring shots. That was the last. It was a fair bit of the footy in that last quarter that we didn't get right, and we just got to get it right. One foot in September now, after a period there during the middle of the season where that didn't look to be the case. You must be just really proud of you boys.
It's just we've still got a bit of work to do next week, and the good thing is that we've got we have destiny in our own hands to a degree, as far as we played Melbourne last game. It's not easy to finish off in Adelaide and Melbourne the last game, so we need to get back to the SCG next week and put in a strong performance there and see what happens after that. We want to play really good footy next week. That's most important for us. That's first and foremost in our mind next week, is that we want to do that.
What do you feel like the biggest difference has been when you contrast the last 6 games to perhaps that period where you weren't going so well?
We've had more player availability, although we've lost a couple over the last couple of weeks. So we missed, for most of the first half of the year, we had some significant players out for long periods of time, and key structural players. Even Ramps has missed a couple. To get him back in tonight, he's missed a fair bit of footy this year, and particularly from your back line. Just play Millsy, those guys, pretty critical players, and to be able to get some consistency with personnel certainly helped us, and that gives confidence and synergy amongst the playing group. So That's been a difference. We've still got some work to do, as we saw in the last quarter. We're far from a finished product. We played 3 quarters of pretty good footy, and we need to, keep working on a few things and getting better at it.
Do you feel like you're hitting your peak at the right time, so to speak?
Asked me at half time, yeah. Asked me at 3/4 time, yeah, I reckon we are. Asked me after the game, we've got a bit of work to do. So that's probably the feeling, that's probably, I think we played 3 quarters of really good footy. To get 30 points up in a tough away game here was a pretty good effort. We fell away in the last quarter, which always gives us something to work on. So we'll look at what we did well, particularly that first half when I thought we were fantastic. And then, we'll look at the last quarter and try and work out what we need to do better. There's no question to get 30-odd points up, we need to finish off a bit better than what we did.
What's the word on Papley, is he?
His hamstring was a bit tight, and he wasn't moving that well in the last. I thought him going off probably he got a bit sore in the third, and when he went off in the last, it probably didn't hurt particularly our CB stuff. So we need to make sure we get that right. See how he is tomorrow.
Thanks all.
Thank you.